Misfield, what we eating tonight?
Star Pizza.
That's crazy.
Let's talk about Star Pizza.
Hey y'all, this is Ryan Monceaux, and that's Brad Towns, and this is Cats, the Cougar After Thoughts Show from GoCoogs.com. Tonight's going to be unlike anything we've ever done, and Brad, you can help me out with this. I've been covering U of H for 25 years, one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I've never dealt with anything like what happened today, and we'll get into the backstory and some things that happened. Have you ever did you have a teammate or a coach or anything pass?
No, none that I can recall. I mean, a guy I played against in high school died a couple of weeks after we played him, but nobody that was in and around the team or whatever that I'm aware of.
So let's kind of get into what happened this week, and then we're going to talk about the game. So Kurt Hester went into the hospital, I believe, late last week, and Wednesday had kind of decided it was time to go home. And so he left the hospital Wednesday. He went to the football facility Thursday and spoke with the team. And Tanner Koziel kind of got into, in the postgame, what he spoke about. And the one thing that sat with me is Koziel said that Kurt Hester said he was looking each person in the eye and said, "What type of man do you want to be? When you face adversity, what type of man do you want to be?" And he didn't talk about have pity for me or feel sorry for me. He was challenging them to be better men. And I'm going to have to go back and watch the video of the press conference just to really, truly understand what Tanner said. But he was as forceful as I have ever heard him. We had him on the Sunday night show, and he has kind of a goofy personality. But, I mean, he was forthright. He was locked in. He also said we knew for a fact what he'd want us to do. And we knew that he would want us to go out there and win. He wouldn't want us to screw around. He wouldn't want us to feel sorry. So that happened Thursday. Friday, they flew out here. The players did not understand what was happening. Kurt Hester and Willie talked about it, that would be probably Kurt's last time to address the team. Kurt passed away this morning. The team, Willie had decided not to tell the team. He was going to wait until after the game and then address the team. But it got around, as these things do with teams, especially teams this size. The guys started talking about it. And so finally at 1:30, when they were having their pregame meal, the team, he brought everybody together and told them, look, this is what happened. Kurt died. And they spent half an hour just telling Kurt Hester stories, which if you've seen any of the tributes or if you've ever met Kurt, you knew what those were. We did a 45-minute interview with him right when he got here. And I was scared shitless of this guy just asking him questions. It's an intensity that I've been around strength coaches. I have tried to get to know strength coaches. I've never ever had anything like this. And so they spent that time, and the guys pretty much decided this is for him. We're going to go out and dominate for him. And for 3 quarters, it was the most impressive Cougar team we have seen in a long time. It wasn't always clean, but it was dominant. And Willie even said it, Kurt would have not liked what we looked like in the fourth quarter. And said, Willie's words were, "You got to stop being a wuss and finish this out." Willie did choke up talking about him. Connor Wigman had, you could see it in his eye, a little watered, but he spoke very eloquently. He said the whole game was for him. And Connor said, I've been here less than a year, and the other guys maybe known him 2 years, but it just goes to show the impact somebody can have. And I thought that was pretty cool. Eddie Walls said he was unbreakable, which was his slogan and the T-shirts and all. And Connor said that Kurt Hester was an absolute dog. And if you know the parlance of this team, that's the most respect they can give you. So anyways, so they found out about it. The coaches' wives knew about it. The coaches had found out this morning. So I found out about it around 3:30, I think. I had played golf this morning, had talked to somebody who was in a team hotel, was downstairs having breakfast. The team was, players were coming in and out. And so it was kind of strange to find out this at 3:30. But I was asked by somebody in the program, the family hasn't said anything, so we're not saying anything. And I was like, okay, I can respect that. I don't need to be first or, break news. Not this. And so I did know that Willie was probably going to talk about it in the post game, and waited for that. And as y'all know, I usually don't go to the post game, but did today for that reason. So we'll keep talking about Kurt Hester and everything that he's done. David Bailey, we appreciate this. For Kurt, go Cougs. Ryan or Brad, is there any way we can donate to Kurt Hester's family? I am certain there will be. I am 100% certain. But I don't know that answer right now. I am certain U of H will work through that and give that information out. Brad, do you have anything you want to say?
It doesn't surprise me that guys who were only around him for a year or 2 years, who he had a big impact on their life. There's a relationship with a strength and conditioning coach, and strength and conditioning staff. It's a little bit different than what your relationship is with with your football coaches or baseball or basketball coaches. You spend so much time with those strength and conditioning coaches, before and after practice, off seasons. They're guys who you hate at times, but when you go through the wall for them, they're the guys that redefine your limits. They are guys that it's not just preparing you for sports. Really, it does prepare you for everything, because you talk about hitting some hard times with those guys. I mean, they push you past the wall. They make you better than what you ever thought you could be. They take you further than you ever thought you could go. And then they build you right back up. And I think everybody who goes through college sports or even big time high school with a strong strength and conditioning program guys have that kind of relationship, and it doesn't surprise me that these guys just took the news the way it's going to hurt, but this is what he trained them for. So kind of let them they let loose on their own, and this is it was cool to see them play the way they did. And of course I didn't know anything about it until you told me late in the game. So it was a really, I guess, a statement win for U of H, but it's even cooler that there's this tied to it. They did the show on ESPN, or the segment on ESPN about him. So this, I think everybody understood what reality was and what the road was. And, I think what would he say that, that death is undefeated, but I'm going to take them into deep overtime.
3 overtimes. I mean, just a hell of a quote.
Yeah. And it's, these guys, and I guess you could even look at the guys that Tulane. I mean, how long was he at Tulane? 3 or 4 years?
Oh, longer than that. He was a Tulane grad and had been there, went to LSU to work with the national title baseball team. And I think he was there the entire time Willie was.
Yeah, I mean, I know he
but
was.
I don't want to say 100%. He was at La Tech at one point. You're 100% right.
And I know he was working. I mean, he did his own thing for a while. Was working with the Manning Academy. So I mean, he's worked with thousands of guys, and I'm sure that every one of them to a man would sing nothing but the highest praises to him. I mean, I still hold Lou Hernandez, my strength coach, and I mean, I put him up there at one of the top that made me much better than what I was when I came in. Which, results wise, you couldn't tell, but hey, yeah, you're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to get some video together. Results may vary depending on who you're improving.
But he had a good seat for the game today, which was fantastic.
Yeah. The coaching staff is all kind of sending out their tributes. They had gone and showered, talked with their units, and I was in an elevator with Slade Nagel before the game, and I knew, but he obviously didn't know that I did. And I looked him in the eyes. I wanted to say something, but it was just a little weird. But there was a quietness that made you think that, it was weighing on him. I'm going to play a sound from Tanner Koziel. I have not watched this, but I think it's the video that I want to share.
Time that he knew he was fighting it and it was getting hard, he was just staring it in the face, and whatever's in your face, you could take it down. You could choose every day to either let it beat you or get up and beat it, and he beat it every single day. And it's just something I'll carry for the rest of my life, seeing him do that and waking up choosing not to let it beat him. He's gonna be there for us, and he was there for us every day, every lift. He was showing up. It's just the measure of man that he is unspeakable. You saw it out there today for sure.
Tanner Willie.
That's pretty cool. Such a strange day. It's I don't know how to speak about anything else other than this, but clearly I mean, it's odd. We can come back to this, But let's get into the game a little bit.
He'd probably be saying, "Quit talking about me."
Yeah, shut up. Let's talk football. As good of 3 quarters. Well, let's say full on 3 quarters as U of H has played in a while. The second quarter, not great. But the first and third, fantastic. At 332 yards through 3 quarters. 40 of those were in the second quarter. So, you had almost 300 yards in the first and third. You'll take that every day. You ended up with 384. And you won in a hard place to win. Nobody's won here since 2013, or excuse me, 2023.
It's their first Big 12 loss at home.
At home. And
Texas Tech couldn't do it.
I noticed that. I thought Connor Wigman played his best game in college, certainly his best game since he's been here. And we said that last week, and I think we said it in the Oklahoma State game too. Connor has put this team on his back, and he ran hard today. I think he had 111 yards on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Tanner Kozel had exactly 100 yards receiving. Would have been a lot longer had he caught that first ball that was thrown to him. I asked him about that in the postgame. It's so weird because obviously we talked about, Kurt Hester most of the time, but it felt weird not asking a football question. And so I was like, what happened? And he said, I lost my focus for a split second, and that's all it took. He said he thought the ball was tipped or was going to be tipped, and that's all it took. And so, I think he made up for that.
It looked like he was anticipating because they were, I think he had 2 guys up there with him.
Yeah. So
got to be dialed in.
Thoughts? I
thought it was phenomenal. I mean, yeah, it was tough to hold on the way we did. It was we just played the team played so well. When I look at the numbers, and you don't see anything that really stands out as, oh wow, these are great numbers, other than the fact that we were only sacked 1 time, give up 1 sack. They had a number of tackles for loss, but those seem to be, hey, we're going to we're basically kneeling down. There's still a lot of room to improve. We didn't play our best game. I mean, we had 3 drops, one of them probably a pick 6. We had, the ball was on the ground a few times. We still weren't able to recover it. And see, that's the wild thing about fumbles. All you can hope for is to cause fumbles, because it's all about the bounce. Are you gonna get it usually? Couple of plays here and there. Yeah, I think. Let's see. You could easily say we probably left 17 points at least on the field. Now they did too.
They left a lot.
They left a lot out there. But hey,
one of the worst kicks you'll ever see in your entire life. That first field goal attempt. The kicker kind of did like a cul-de-sac, the way he was setting up and going into that, and then a horrible snap. We started playing conservative too soon, but survived. Too much running of the QV, but we survived, and he was not hurt. I will disagree with the too much running of the QB. No one else is getting those yards. When you needed those, Dean Connors wasn't getting them. DJ Butler, who had a nice little game, wasn't getting them. And Connor was the only one that was going to do that. And I think you had to you're going to have to run him. He's going to have to be multidimensional, and you're going to have to put him at risk a little bit. But do you agree? Disagree?
No, I'm 100%. I personally don't like the him just tucking it and running, but I understand exactly why we do it. I like a read option because I think it gives us a lot more opportunity. Yeah. But what it's doing is we're usually pulling a guard or a tackle, and then we're also running a tight end in there to block, and you got Connors leading the way. So one thing Wigman does really, really well as a runner is he's very patient, and he allows blockers to get in front of him. So that's kind of the strength that we went to. There's a lot of things that I'd like to see us do a little bit better here and there, but this. Yeah, of course. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about it since day one about improvement, and I think you're seeing a large amount of improvement since Texas Tech. And I still think Texas Tech was just that good. They were clicking on all cylinders. And the beginning of that game goes the wrong way, and you were just never going to recover from that. And that's okay. The Texas Tech game might be different if we get that punt fumble. But regardless, you saw it against after two or three drives against Oklahoma State. All of a sudden, it was a different team. That's when Connor went over and said, "We're scoring every time we touch the ball from now on." And ever since then, the offense has looked incredible. Ball's getting out fast. The offensive line looks a hell of a lot better. We're running the ball well. We're running the ball in different ways. We're getting it done different ways, whether it be Connors having a big day or Wigman having a big day. I really like the offense that we're playing right now. I would like this to see be a little bit more aggressive, more consistently, but hey, it's a work in progress. These situations are new for everybody, and you only can hope that it continues because it keeps getting better each week. The last 3 weeks have been building and building and building, and I just love to see it. Star Pizza, they have reverse happy hour Thursday through Sunday till 10 p.m. That's something you need to check out. Lunch specials all week. Treat yourself tomorrow before you go to the exhibition basketball game. Go get you some Star Pizza. Our friends at Section 12X are going to set you up. I assume something's coming for the West Virginia game, for basketball season. You're going to like a lot of what's happening. And we're going to do Two Idiots. Utah is fucking embarrassing Colorado right now. They were up 40-0 last time I looked, and it was only middle of the second quarter. It's 43-0 now. Before Willie started talking, Steve Helwick from Underdog Dynasty was sitting next to me. And, I mean, it's kind of a somber. And before Willie walked in the door, and I looked down, and I was like, it's 40-0. I looked, Colorado had 2 yards. Utah had 40 points, and Colorado had 2 yards. I don't do math, but that does not sound like a winner to me. Texas escaped one of the craziest comebacks that should not have happened. That's on Utah State. I wish I wasn't watching that game because I allowed that to creep in my mind in the fourth quarter while watching our game. Don't let this happen twice today. Yeah. But SMU loses at Wake Forest. SMU missed a PAT. I texted Towns when that happened. I was on the golf course, I believe. It was like,
this could come back to bite them, and it did. Wake Forest kicks a field goal and wins. Kansas State beat the crap out of Kansas today. I read that George W. Bush was president the last time Kansas won a game. The last time the iPhone 1, I don't even think it was called that. I think it was just called an iPhone, was debuted. Not great. It's just been a weird day. That afternoon window, that lunchtime and afternoon window have been so good all year. It's wild how good those have been. And the nights have kind of been like,
honestly, this year, it's been a damn good football season. Every single window has at least one or two really good games. Sometimes you run into days where it's like 5 or 6 that are all one score going down to the wire, which is awesome. Hey, if this is what NIL brings, okay, I'll live with it. I'll live with it. I mean, sure. There's so much talent in this country that it's now starting to spread out, and you're starting to. I mean, when you can see like Georgia Tech having some of it, Vanderbilt having some of it.
Well, just think about the guys you have on this team right now, who came from where? Where did that guy come from?
Mm-hmm.
Carlos Allen came from Kennesaw State. Tanner Koziel, he did go to Wisconsin for about 10 minutes.
The greatest decision he ever made.
From Ball State. Eddie Walls, who had 3 sacks today, came from FIU.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, there are players at a G5 level that are now being able to kind of have their coming out parties on the big stage. And there's also guys that were stuck on a depth chart and find a coaching situation or the right situation and are able to just jump out and do something. And I think it's awesome. It's awesome for the sport.
I used to be, 8 or 9 years, a while ago, I used to be very much in support of players shouldn't be paid. As I saw more and more coaches getting paid more and more, and it's coordinators all of a sudden, multimillionaire coordinators, and then guys leaving at the drop of a hat, head coaches leaving, everybody leaving, going, doing their thing. I'm like, screw it. It's time for the players. If they can get paid, they can get paid. And, it sucks when we lose guys like that, but, it's just part of it. But for player, I mean, dude, where was Diego Pavia 2 years ago?
New Mexico State.
Yeah. And ending his career.
And
he would have
right now, if the season ended today, he's the Heisman winner.
Yeah. That never happens at New Mexico State.
No.
Cam Ward. He's an incarnate word. Then at Washington State, then in Miami, and then top draft pick. I mean, for the players, it's the best thing ever. And I'll even say, some of the guys that have left here have gone on to big spots. Congratulations to them. Hey, that's just part of it now. Everybody can go and find a place. I just like to see it. And the thing is that we are now starting to see the talent spread out all over the place. Sucks for some of the G5, but, it's a different topic.
Yeah. Okay.
Section 12X. Bam. Go get you one. Guess what? Another dub, another special. Free shipping on all orders. No code needed for you people who have trouble with spell check. No code. It's good enough for a Coug right there. You can just thumb it and make sure you order 3 or 4 hats, a couple of shirts. You're all good to go. Discount at checkout ends Thursday at 2 p.m. Guaranteed arrival by Friday for orders in Texas.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Free shipping, baby. I mean, so that saves you a couple of bucks. It's like your Prime Day right there. Boom. Go get it. Get swagged up. Make sure gotta be real swag like our kicker. God, thank God he's a soccer fan, because he really soccer fanned it there at the end.
Hey, I was standing underneath the goalpost, kind of the opposite one, so I couldn't. Everybody was coming at me, so I couldn't see that he did miss that kick, by the way, which is shocking. But hey, if he did his job, and part of it is falling down on the ground the correct way.
Hey, the thing is, they did make contact with him, and that's the rule. If you make contact with the kicker at all, he doesn't have to fall down.
Nope.
But in his trained soccerness deep down inside, he hits the ground and Neymars it and just rolls all over the field until the flag drops. But it really didn't matter, because they were offside to begin with.
Okay, that's true.
Like really offside.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Brad, why don't you go through some comments for us real quick?
Oh man, we got a bunch to catch up on. Let's see here. Connor, this team leads the country in forced fumbles and have barely recovered in him. Absolutely. It's wild to see. That's just kind of the way the ball bounces. This is the one I wanted to. Yeah, 4th and 13 was bizarre. I think everybody here can agree that, and everybody was probably questioning, what the hell are we doing? It wasn't so much that the 4th and 13 that there was a big problem, and it was a big problem. But if your thought was that you're going to go for it on 4th down, it's a reasonable thing to do, but then it makes the 3rd down call and the 2nd down calls. You've got to set yourself up to go for it and not go for it in a 4th and 13 scenario. I thought the best idea would be to punt it there, and I guess it strikes me so much because that goes completely against everything that Willie usually does.
1,000%.
Because if there is a decision with risk attached to it, it's usually ultra conservative. But that one was very, very aggressive. Ryan, do you know Burnett dinged up or just a precaution?
I think it was just a precaution. U of H was on the far side of the field, and I forgot my binoculars are sitting on my bed at the courtyard. So I couldn't really look to see what happened, but I think he was just a precautionary thing,
Yep. Can't believe this is the first road win versus AP ranked team since 2017. Hey,
you know what that game was? Do you remember that game?
I remember it very well.
It was USF.
Yep.
They were ranked. U of H had lost to Memphis the week before. I think U of H was up like 17 at halftime. And I was sitting in the end zone with a buddy, because those were my favorite seats. And I was like, you can't ask for anything more. And then Memphis just came back, and it was 45-42. And that's when you knew that Major was, it was proof on paper that Major was in over his head. And then they go to Tampa and win that damn game. That was the game that De'Aaron King kind of broke out.
Yeah.
And
that was the I told y'all. But that just tells you where we've been as a program. When earlier in the season, I get a little frustrated when people say we should be doing this, we should be doing that, and we should be blowing everybody out. We should be doing. It's like, who the hell do you think this program? Who do you think we are? But the fact that it's the first road win against a ranked team since 2017, that tells you what we've been. It just the definition of mediocre. And right now, people probably say we're probably the worst 7-1 team in the country. Guess what? You ain't taking those dubs off the board.
No.
I'll take it. Hey, make us the worst 14-1 team in the country. However many it takes to get an Natty. Wouldn't that be wild if football won a national title for basketball?
Easy.
Hey, everybody thought I was crazy saying
I'm going to say right now, there are 4 teams that are 5-0 or 4-1 in the conference, right? Houston's one of them. I think maybe U of H has the easiest road in November. West Virginia at home, who nearly came back and beat TCU today, by the way. At UCF on a Friday night. That's the one to watch out. TCU at home, and then at Baylor. I think Baylor's going to fire our guy before that game. I think it's done. But you have a manageable situation. Cincinnati's got to go play some games. Texas Tech has to go play some games. BYU, I think, goes to Tech.
Goes to Tech next week, and then 2 weeks after that goes to
Cincinnati. They play, and then they have TCU and UCF at home.
Right.
I think this is you may not have the talent of those other 3 teams. You may not be as good as those other 3 teams. But on paper, you might have about the easiest road.
We weren't supposed to win tonight.
No.
I mean, even everything that we've seen going into the season, this was a big fat L, and I thought we would get blown out in this. I thought we'd get blown out against Tech, and I thought we'd get blown out here. These were when I said earlier against Texas Tech that, hey, this ain't the last one. I thought this one was going to be that one. But thankfully, Arizona State had a big win. Might have overlooked us. Thought they could walk through here. But I'm telling y'all, this conference is so close together. Go back and look at how many close games that Arizona State won last year and how many they started off winning this year. Okay, that's the – I mean, we can even look at ours and give or take a player play here or there, we could have 3 more losses. Yeah. I mean, that's what this league comes down to. I mean, thanks to Texas Tech losing last week. Nobody's dog walking every single game. I mean, Texas Tech has done most of them, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there's somebody in Arlington with 2 losses.
I think there is going to be. And I mean, it's possible U of H is the one team that has 1 loss. I mean, it's possible. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're going to trip up. I think you're getting as much out of the talent and the way you're playing as you can, right? I mean, nobody had this team 7-1. You now have 4 road wins. That's wild. That's crazy. That BS 2021 team, which I don't really recognize, but that team won a lot of road games, bad road games. This is a good road win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What a win. Wigman is a dog. Eddie Walls and Zelmar Vetter played well. Zelmar could have had a hell of a game.
He had a really good
gotta
game.
catch the ball.
He could have had a one for the record book.
Yeah. 7-1, that was for Coach Hester. This is one I want to talk about. This team leads the country in forced fumbles, but have recovered 3. You know what else is crazy? So there was a block kick, I guess, in the Oklahoma State game. I don't remember what game it was. But a blocked punt. It was a blocked punt.
Yeah.
A blocked punt counts as a turnover on the stat sheet. It's not like a real turnover, but on a stat sheet, that's how it counts. So if you discount that, because it's not a real turnover, if you discount that, U of H is right at 14 quarters since they last turned the ball over. So 210 minutes? That's pretty good. I mean, it's impossible to go that long and not turn the ball over, but this team has managed to do it. I did not get to listen to this, but it's unbelievable that every one of these commentators think Dana ran the air raid here. You can look at what Nebraska is doing to see what that air raid is.
Yeah.
Not quite the air raid, but
well, I mean, they
keep calling it that.
They even said, well, we had the ball at the 15-yard line or whatever to end the first half. They're like, well, the high-powered offense of Dana, they would probably they'd probably try to get something out of this. It's like, shut up. You're thinking of him 20 years ago. Because that wasn't here.
Kobe Young had what could be his breakout. He made a catch in that first, I think it was the TD drive. Harvey Broussard, Tanner Koziel, Kobe Young, and maybe Dean Connors. I don't remember who the fourth receiver was. All had catches. Dean and Connor Wigman and DJ Butler ran the ball in that drive. But Kobe Young, Jacquees Martin had a really great catch on the home sideline.
I tell you what, man, Kobe Young.
But
he's about to do some big things.
Yeah, he is. It's right there. And we talked about it last week. Okay, made a play. Now he needs to put a drive together. Now he needs to put a half together and a game together. And he started to do that.
When it said he was targeted 3 times and had 2 catches, but wasn't the third one that interference?
Pass interference, yes.
That deep ball?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was 6.
Yeah, they were all over him. So
no, before he was interfered with, I thought that was
okay.
6.
Yeah. And Jordan Allen made a great play on a ball that should have been 6 for Arizona State, but he closed so well. Really like seeing that. Louisiana boys.
Oh, and Kentrell Webb that got the big breakup on 4th down at the end of the game?
It might have been. Maybe it was Will James. It was 15, wasn't it? It was Will James.
No,
that's what I think it is. But you could be right, and there's certain views. I was just in a weird spot and couldn't see everything that was happening. So we need Cincinnati and BYU to have 2 losses to get in. Probably. But Texas Tech could lose another game. You got to take care of business. U of H cannot expect to make it to Arlington with 2 losses, if we're being realistic. I think it's possible, but the tiebreakers are so wonky that you would need a lot to go your way, and I just don't know if that's going to happen. I don't think I've ever seen a, quote, good team shit themselves with so many bad penalties like ASU tonight. It seemed like every penalty took points off the board or negated a good play or bailed U of H out, frankly.
Very undisciplined play from their side.
U of H's offensive MVP might have been the Arizona State defense because of how many plays. They made plays consistently for this offense. It's hard to watch at times. And I kind of laugh at things because, like, oh, God, I can't believe y'all did that. But, whew. They had 12 penalties, and I would have told you it was like 17. But nine of them were on defense.
Yeah.
They had a shift, a false start, and an illegal block. And these were the accepted penalties. So there was another one. I don't even remember what it was. It may have been a pass interference. And 79 had a hands to the face or something and negated it. But, whew, personal foul, roughing the kicker, pass interference, personal foul. They really got away with, they roughed the kicker. You didn't get that many yards. You only got 8 yards on another pass interference.
Mm-hmm.
Unsportsmanlike.
I mean, you had a couple of 15-yarders that were when we were inside the 5.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
they had 9 defensive penalties for 56 yards.
Yeah.
You got your money's worth.
Hey, man, I was just surprised. We had 7 penalties, which is terrible. But like I told you when I was texting you, since we won, we had those offensive penalties on purpose so we could run more time. We had to back. We were about to score too quick, so we had to back up a little bit, and then run some more clock. Oh, and then back up a little bit, run some more clock. Yeah, that's just the way it was. But yeah, we got to clean that up. 7's not good, especially pre-snap penalties on offense.
False start. Jason Brooks, Ebiselli, Merriman, and Ebiselli. Yeah, so nothing on right guard. I have them winning 10 games. Okay. Martin says the Cougs are 4-0 when Harvey Broussard has a catch. That could be your stat of the year.
Starnes. Stats by Martin instead of Starnes.
Yeah. Okay. 23 Illinois loss, 24 Arizona State loss, 18 South Florida loss, 20 How the hell is LSU ranked? They're not going to be tomorrow.
They're probably going to move up to 17 because
they could be 22. Quality loss at home by 20 plus. Fucking embarrassing. I just am not so hung up on this AP ranking things. Who cares? You are right where you want to be, and it might be better. This team here, yes, this team had their little asses patted all week for their upset over Texas Tech. You don't want your team with their asses patted all week. This week is already going to be a mental minefield because of the Kurt Hester thing. These guys are going to be so out of their element. There's going to be so much going on. It would be perfectly fine if they're not ranked and they still have that chip on their shoulder. Keep it all year.
Yep.
But this week is going to be the most difficult week these guys have ever had.
Yes.
And it's not the opponent. It's everything that's going to be happening. These guys have never been in that weight room in the new football facility without Kurt Hester. That's going to happen Monday. I don't know how they deal with that. I don't know how you put that to the side and focus on game prep or whatever you're dealing with. I don't know how you do that. I will say, just real quick, U of H has invested in mental health, and they've invested. They're going to have grief counselors in addition to the mental health people. The O'Quinn Foundation, John O'Quinn, his foundation gave $200,000 this summer specifically earmarked for mental health. This is exactly where it needs to be. And so this is an Eddie Nunez focus, and shout out to him. Obviously, you didn't know this was going to happen, but athletes definitely need that mental health, that help to take some of the edge off of some of the things they have to deal with. Okay, Brad.
It's going to be tough for them, but there's something about guys at this level is that they're able to kind of compartmentalize life, and a lot of times being out on the field, being in your routine of sports and athletics makes everything a lot easier because you're so focused. It's your escape. Honestly, I mean, it's the way to get away from everything. You don't have to think about anything. The time that is difficult is when the crowd noise dies down and all of a sudden you're stuck in kind of reality and there's not that distraction. So I don't want to, I'll say compared to just living normal life and having to deal with it, being right in the middle of the season and going and just doing your routine, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that'll help. But this is such a different situation. I just don't. I think this is going to be the hardest week. And to focus on an opponent is going to be helpful, but I don't know how it's going to affect execution. It's hard to tell. You have a veteran coach and a veteran coaching staff that can help move them along here. Typically, though, you would lean on this strength and conditioning coach to help with something like this. Just throwing that out there. So, yeah. This is the second time U of H has held a team in the Big 12 scoreless through a half. It's the first time they've gone 3 quarters without a team scoring. I think they scored in the fourth quarter. Is that what happened? Yeah, they didn't score to the fourth quarter. You saw a lot of teams today win the fourth quarter 16-0, 17-0. Iowa State did that today. That could have gotten ugly, but the defense clamped down when they needed to, for sure.
Wow, we had 10 pass breakups. They had 1.
10 is a crazy number.
Yeah, it's an insane number.
Because if you go back and look at the box scores for this year, it's not that many.
Well, I mean, there's not that many in college football.
Right. Let's see how many they've had for the season before today. Breakups, 26. And you said 10 today?
10 today.
So averaging 3.5 before today and had 10. Was there somebody that had a bunch? Nope, just a couple of 2s.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not depending on anybody. Yeah. 4 quarterback hurries, a forced fumble, 4 sacks, 5 tackles for loss. I mean, that's pretty strong.
You know, our offensive line has, taken its beating, and they've earned what they got after the Texas Tech game. Slowly but surely, they're playing so much better. A lot of it is them getting their communication down, understanding what they're supposed to do, knowing what each other is going to do, and taking care of their job. But also, we talked about it last week again. They're getting the ball out quick. It's definitely a plan to make up for your weaknesses, which is wild. But we got real caught up. I mean, because the statistics came through, and Sam Kahn made a big deal of it, and Duarte followed on, and then everybody piled on. Look at all our quarterback gets pressured more than anybody in the country. Guess what? We don't give up sacks, though. Not a lot of them. Gave up one today. You know who gives up a lot of sacks? Arizona State. They don't get a lot of pressures, but they get a lot of negative yards. They're the actual worst in the Big 12. And they got 4 more today.
When the sack you gave up, I think it was 5 wide. And I was like, uh-oh, that doesn't look very good. Because the drive before, you had 13 personnel with 3 tight ends in there. And then you spread them out wide like that. And I was like, oh.
Well, you had the defensive end crashing, kind of stunting on a slant on the inside, and they were also rushing 2. They were rushing 2 at the nose tackle, so the guard was blocking down, and the rusher got inside the tackle, which gave him free run to the quarterback.
Okay.
Fixable.
I'm getting special attention from the SID at Arizona State, and it's kind of weird, but I like it. That sounded really creepy. He's just taking care of my parking and certain things for me. Appreciate it.
It was wild to see Eddie Walls. He had another great day today, but him and Carlos Allen, they were all over the field. What is Allen doing cutting a guy off at the sideline?
That is the 2-point play, right? And he came from nose tackle, chased. Was that Levitt? I don't remember. No, it was the backup, wasn't it, that scored that touchdown? Chased him 80 yards and got him pinned up against the sideline and made that play. So appreciate that. That was, he was in a boot this week, and I didn't think he was going to go. I thought they were going to pull the questionable, doubtful, all the way through. But okay, people are saying
everybody's talking about Tom Herman. I don't give a shit.
No, who cares?
Hey, guess what? Welcome back. Thank you for getting us to the Peach Bowl. Thanks. Next. See ya. Don't care.
Batton was not able to be here tonight. He is going to be here for West Virginia. He's going to be here for UCF. It just didn't work out tonight.
It's late. Hey, man,
got to work out. He's an early guy like me.
He is a dude that's got to stay in peak physical condition, unlike myself. And sleep is a big part of that. So,
Is that why you're fat?
He's not going to be. He's not. Well, one of the many. I mean, he's not going to be up at 1:30, 2:30 in the morning drinking gravy and ranch.
There is no time yet, as far as I know, on West Virginia. You're going to get that when the Big 12 releases it. And they're not doing that tonight. 6-day hold means tomorrow, and you'll probably get it before lunch, is my guess. You'll know it before I do because I'll be on a flight. So I can get home, so I can drive from Hobby to Rosenberg for this non-televised exhibition game. We will not do a show tomorrow night. The facilities over there and the fact that Brad's not driving out there to see it, it's not on TV. And you're all going to be really mad because this is a team of freshmen and guys that just haven't played together that much. So, and it's a practice game. Who cares? If the two of you are laying, are you jumping ship to Florida? Brad?
Do you want to hit the intro?
No.
Head down and head on down to the Ritz. Get yourself a buffet.
Buffet.
Little beverage. You're good to go. Probably not. Nope.
Why
I don't
do
think
you
I will.
say probably?
No, I said probably not. If I'm laying, am I going
probably
to Florida?
not? Why probably? Because that is a 100%. There's no way. Now, I'm using it to get what I want at Ole Miss,
Oh,
whether
absolutely.
it's NIL money or whatever.
It's like, hey,
Florida.
It's cool that that they're allegedly willing to pay me $13.5 million. Take my salary, bump me up $1 million. Let me give another $1 million to my assistants, and then dump the rest of it. Give me 10. Give me 10 on NIL. We're good to go. Because hey, look, Florida's got every excuse in the world. Okay, they
don't.
Well, no. They've got every excuse to fire a coach in the world, not excuses for the failure that they've been. But I mean, what was it, McElwain or Muschamp that won back-to-back Eastern divisions?
Yeah.
I mean, they were in the SEC title game back-to-back years, and one down season, and they're gone. And their excuse is, well, yeah, the East sucked. Okay, but for Saban being at Alabama, they might win one of those. Then what? Same thing's going to happen. Same thing's going to happen to Lane. He's going to go there. He's probably not going to win a natty, at least not in the first 5 years.
Well, it nearly killed the last guy that won a national title. And then his players ended up killing people.
Yeah.
But I just think Florida is a dumpster fire of a place. They have money. They just don't have crazy people like Auburn has, or in a way LSU and Tennessee and Alabama. I mean, Florida's got money, but their expectations are so much higher than where they really are in the pecking order. They have been behind everybody else in facilities. Now they're behind in NIL. And the quick trigger of, as you said, Muschamp, McElwain, Sunbelt Billy, who was just let go.
Well, Billy deserved it. He actually, surprisingly, he's the one that got the longest leash.
Well, he had an impossible schedule the last 2 years. But you don't get it done, you don't get it done. I don't have any problem with that.
Welcome to the SEC. That's what you're faced against. But the thing is that you can win at the highest level. You can make the SEC title game. And these days, if you make the SEC title game, you're in the CFP, but you're still going to get fired. You're going to see stupid shit. You're going to see schools like this do stupid shit like Penn State. Penn State was just the first to do it. Okay, you're going to have a bunch more doing this exact same thing. All of them at that level where it is natty or bust. Even though they haven't won a national title in 30 years since Joe Powell won it at
40
Penn State?
years.
Yeah.
40 plus.
But I mean, Florida, what did it take for them to win their last national titles?
People dying.
It took a murderer and God's chosen one, right?
It's Brad. It's not me.
Tebow, one of the best.
I understand who you're
ever.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
I believe so.
No, he's not. Oh. Lane has his team in the top 8. He's going to the college football playoff. Why go start over? It makes no sense. Oh, you're going to give me a couple million more dollars that I will never spend because I spend 330 days locked in a room watching film or talking to high school kids.
I mean,
I
how are
can
you?
do everything I want in Oxford. I have my whole family here. Everybody's happy. Why would I go and uproot all that for a maybe? Maybe I have a little bit better access to talent, but it's not like Ole Miss has just not had talent. They haven't been able to do it. Yeah. And Lane, I think he's just at a spot where, he's been kicked around and he's been at the highest and then he's been knocked back down. Maybe there's some gratitude for what he has.
Well, and you kind of get what you've seen from. I don't know what he does. Maybe he takes it. Maybe that's just who he is. But he might be at that stage where don't mess with Happy. Just like you said, previously that he wasn't going to go anywhere because his family said, no, we're staying here. This is where we live.
Yeah.
Now he will play the game to get what he needs. But he has more power at Ole Miss than he would ever be able to have at Florida. At Ole Miss, he can be like Kelvin and say, fuck you, I'm doing it my way.
If you go to Florida,
make sure you call before you come into my building.
If you go to Florida, you got to win 1 to match Spurrier. You got to win 2 to match Urban Meyer. Those statues are built. Who's the statue at Ole Miss? You got Coach Vaught, but that was 60 years ago. That's Archie Manning.
Archie.
This is the most relevant Ole Miss has been in 2.5 generations. Why would you go and that doesn't make any sense to me. Bob Ross says, I miss when these shows were 2 hours long. There have been a couple that were 2 hours, mainly basketball, maybe late in the year, mainly, anyways. Tebow had a 50 touchdown season running and passing. So did Eric King. Who wants to live in Mississippi? I'm going to tell you something. Mississippi ain't that bad. Oxford is
I would live there.
Is everything that Austin thinks it is. Oxford is that. And has better looking women, if that's your thing. Clark Lee definitely getting a better job this season. I think Clark Lee could go somewhere and make a whole lot of money.
I think Clark Lee, what's his name?
He could build Vanderbilt into something. Now, he's had to have this quarterback to do it. Can he do it without that? I mean, there's a lot of guys that have gone and taken better jobs who have only been able to do it with the one quarterback, or Kevin Sumlin, 2 quarterbacks.
Or you become a trailer at UTSA and prove that your high point was because of a quarterback.
Yeah. Curious to see what the fine is for ASU after tonight's shenanigans. If they hadn't had the fine last week, I would say nothing. But to me, and Willie brought this up in the post game, he said that there's nothing, and I don't know this 100%. There's nothing the on-field refs can do. They have to handle it in the Big 12 office, which is insane. That should just be a 15-yard penalty. It's not about money. It's about penalize them for the game they're playing now.
Right.
And it wasn't just the one time. There were bottles coming from behind the U of H bench. It was happening until the Ethan Sanchez kick when they all just went home. But those bottles were coming consistently through that second half. Now, were they pissed off about refs? Yeah, but you can't. In this case, this was not like Texas last year. In this case, the refs just were like, oh, we're just going to keep throwing the flags. So it worked out pretty well. Got the governor of LSU. I did not see this. The governor of Louisiana tweeting to LSU accounts about raising season ticket prices. They raised season ticket prices Thursday and are doing it like 25%.
Whoa.
Maybe tariffs. I don't know. But, there's a reason. But the reason is that because the SEC is going to 9 games, they're charging people more, even though you're only getting a game every other year.
And luckily, they went year after next. They're going to be one of their games going to be here.
Yeah, 27 will be at NRG. Sanchez missed a 29. No, he did not.
He was interfered.
Apparently, he was interfered with.
Well, that's what we'll say. But the laces weren't out. Jake, Mr. Sock.
Hey, that's my guy.
Yeah, it's fun. It's been, man. I tell you, there's some things that I could rant about, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I'm just seeing improvement across the board, and there's more improvement, guys. Whenever this team puts it all together and plays their best game, they play a complete 4 quarters. You might see something really, really special.
Yeah,
because this team is significantly better than the sum of their parts. We saw what 22 individuals or a lot of individual guys look like in September. And it wasn't very pretty. But you're seeing this team evolve and come together. I mean, even with, injuries that they have to deal with too. I mean, I know that everybody's going to talk about the Arizona State injuries and everything. These guys have had them too. I mean, our starting running back, or expected to be starting running back, was out at the beginning of the season. Sneed, who was our number 2 guy, has been banged up all season. We lose Boogie Johnson, who was our top receiver coming back. We lose guys all over the place. This team has just done such an amazing job of next man up, and they're getting better and better and better. And the coaches are getting better and better and better.
Yes.
Your coaches, please don't take the air out so soon.
Yeah. When you said this team has not performed at its best, that goes to coaching staff too.
Absolutely. And I think they would 100% agree.
There were the third drive where you score the first 2 times, 10 play drives, and you're like, holy crap. That third drive was horrible. But then you come back to start the third quarter and you start throwing it around again. You start with a little tempo. There was like, right. Okay, that's the team you can be. Play calling, not great. Willie made some weird decisions. That 4th and I don't remember what it was. 13? Oh, they got 6. I don't know what you're doing there.
I was like, that would have been perfect for the third down play.
But then Mekhi Muse recovers the onside kick. They were ready. Like some people would think maybe you don't go on sides there. Willie was ready. They had him ready to go. Do you think we see a change to who is returning punts and kicks at some point this season? I think if it costs you something, yes. I just don't think if they do, I think it's Shaquise Martin. You might see DJ Butler, but
here's my thought on it. And this goes back to the risk reward. The goal, I understand people want to have a dynamic return man who is going to potentially break one here or there. I think Muse has that potential, but his number one strength is the fact he catches the ball.
Catches the ball and never puts it on the ground.
Knock on wood.
I mean, allegedly in the OU game last year, but
he's a guy that they feel very comfortable who is going to, at worst, catch the ball. And the way that this team plays is we want the ball and we want to hold on to it and we want to grind it. And that's like exactly what we did today. But there's more adjustments to come. I just don't see anything changing out of the punt return team. Just hang on to the ball. If you get a chance to run one, do it, but hang on to the ball.
Mackay was interfered with twice tonight. Kobe Young got called for a kick catch interference, maybe against Tech. And these guys were like, one of them touched the ball when it was in the air. I mean, it's the most blatant thing, but didn't get called. I thought the U of H sideline should have been on that a little bit more. Mackay Muse is a steady returner, and he's a senior. Nobody returns punts now, right? You just don't do it. The Australians are really good at kicking the ball very high. They may not be great with, downing it inside the 5, but they're pretty good at that. And so you're just not going to see a lot of punts returned. Did AC get in the game tonight? I am almost certain he did. I will go back and watch the film again, but I'm pretty sure he did. At this point, you want to get him in. So you're pretty much saying he can't redshirt now. You've decided we want to get him in. But you've had 2 games here, Arizona and this one, where you couldn't afford a tryout spot, basically. The second, or at least in the fourth quarter, there was no room for him to get in the game. Last week, you only had 8 drives. You don't have room, There's no way to put him in. So, all right, Brad, let's go ahead and do some final thoughts of everything that happened today. Pretty emotional day, pretty weird day. What are your final thoughts?
Huge win. At 7 wins, reached my expectation. Everything here is gravy. There's a lot of opportunity out there on the table. And they did it with, this is kind of an exclamation point. It says a lot about the character of the team and the staff to be able to take the news, what they had today, process it, and go out and play. Just a inspired effort, and just amazing to see what this team has become. Desperately going to miss Kurt Hester. Prayers go out to his family. That's got to be, I know it's difficult. I've lost my father, so I know exactly what they're going through. I hope the young men who are affected around the team can rally together and take the lessons that they were taught, and go out and just let it rip, because that's exactly what they were trained to do. That's it.
I think what you said about the guys processing that information and then going out and playing. So that meeting was at 1:30. They got on a bus at 2:30 to come over here. It was not like they had all day. It's not like they had a week. after that 30 minutes of telling stories, you basically went and got your stuff and went to the bus. And you come out and you warm up and you play a game. And maybe that's better for you than having time to sit and process and think. And you're just reacting with all the other guys.
Absolutely.
And, they handle it incredibly well. We'll be back with the team Monday morning for practice, and then Willie's press conference at noon. I assume it's all going to go on that way. Everything can change. My press credential for tonight is a little piece of paper.
Stop sign?
It's a stop sign. I'm number 176. Okay. Here's number 1. That's Willie Fritz's credential that he was wearing on the sideline today. When he came in, I think just reactively, he took the stuff out of his pockets and set it down on the table. And there was a piece of paper. There was a double bubble piece of gum, like from our childhood, like that old hard piece of gum in the wrapper, and then his credential. And when he walked out of the room, and it was one of his shortest press conferences, it was really all about Kurt Hester. He was getting emotional. But when he walked out of the room, he picked up that piece of gum and left. He left the credential. And I just was like, well, I'm not letting that just sit there. It's just so weird how the brain works sometimes. I don't know how you process this and move on with your work week. Tomorrow's an off day. The guys will get home pretty late. I mean, it'll be 2 a.m. Houston time, I would guess, when they get home. You'll have a day tomorrow, and what do you do? How do you deal with that? There's no team meetings because it's an off day. You can't have team meetings. I think that's going to show a lot about who these guys are. This is going to be an incredibly crazy week. Perhaps you get ranked tomorrow. You're going to deal with Kurt Hester and processing everything that's happened. They're going to be the guys, the players, the coaches are going to be pulled in a million different directions, more than they normally are. I was behind Connor on the field, and then as they walked all the way up the tunnel, you took a left, you walked another 100 or so feet, you took another right, you walked into. He got stopped 15 times for photos. You had to have an on-field credential for that. And so there weren't that many people, and he was still being stopped. And he had just taken a beating. He took a beating emotionally with all this news. And he's still stopping in his great mood. There was a young Arizona State fan, maybe 5 or 6, and he gave his sweatband and his something else to him who was up in the stands. And that kid's going to remember that, for years. But these guys just went through so much, and now they're going to have to live with it and deal with it in a different way. And none of them have ever done this. They've never buried a coach or somebody that is with them every day like this, unless, family. But it's going to be a really weird week for them. And we'll be here just to see kind of how it goes. I'll come back tomorrow, go to Rosenberg, do this basketball game, and then you're on the clock for the basketball season. 8 days from tomorrow. You start.
Oh, I nearly dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah, that would be something different.
Hey, I make a conscious effort to try not to.
Yeah. Ever since that Kansas game, the football game, not the basketball. A week from tomorrow, Lehigh, and then Towson. And I'm going to miss the Towson game. Y'all are going to have to do a Cats without me.
Oh, everybody tune in. We are going Well, we're not even going off the rails because we're not even getting
There's
close
no
to
rails.
the rails.
Yeah, there are no rails.
That's right. It's going to be wild.
That'll be that'll be for Towson. I'll be coming back from UCF, and that's just how flights worked out. We did not mention this, but U of H won these two teams have played before, but this is for us the first annual or first Big 12 Shocker Bowl. So you got that going for you. Number one.
Normally the Shocker.
No.
Spocker?
Nope.
The Showstopper?
Tune in for that Towson game and see what you get. See if we can get banned from the internet.
Oh, no way. Not at all.
Yeah. I'm so glad I won't be here for that.
We might just have to stream it. We just might have to move it over to stream it on Kick where there are no rules.
I don't even know what that is. But yeah, try that. Thank you all so much. Weird night, but U of H gets to win 7-1.
Section 12X, free shipping on every order. Who's going to be the first to go in there right now and order something? No code needed. Discount taken off automatically at checkout. Ends Thursday. If you're in the state of Texas, guaranteed to ship and arrive to you by Friday. How about that? These are done hand-packed, signed card, thank yous, everything. These guys go, and they say these guys, this family, first class. So go check them out.
Star Pizza.
Section12x.com.
Get you some Star Pizza. Probably not right now. It's 1 in the morning, I guess.
You know, I just had to look at the clock and I was like, oh man, Star Pizza's closed a long time ago.
It closed for a while. Can we also do one more thing and then we'll get out of here? I'm driving around Tempe, Mesa, Phoenix. I didn't realize how big Mesa is. It's like every exit is for Mesa. But the city of Tempe has a logo. Did you know this?
I did not.
This is their logo. What do you see? I see Pac-Man.
You don't want to know
Pac-Man
what I see.
Pac-Man is eating the city of Tempe, Brad.
Yeah, that's what it's doing. That's what it's doing. Looks
Towson,
like
2 weeks from tonight.
Looks like city of Tempe's got some BBL getting taken care of.
Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate it. Tune in to GoCoogs.com all week. Jamie Hollingsworth is going to write up his thoughts on tomorrow night's exhibition. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in with us. By the way, I don't even think I said this. I'm in the referee's room, like where they go pregame, where they go at halftime. That's where I'm at. So thank you and welcome from Tempe, Arizona, GoCoogs.com, Star Pizza, and Section 12X.
What's that behind your right shoulder? Is that a lava lamp?
My right shoulder.
Look over your...
That's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to go this way.
Yeah, that blue thing back there.
It's in the plug. I don't know what it is. I was trying to look for a place. I was trying to look for a place to plug in somewhere, and I went over there, and I was like, "Oh, can't do that." So
I thought it was a lava lamp. That'd have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool. All right,
BBL.
We'll see y'all another time.
Get you munching away, big fella. Life doesn't get better than pizza and a Cougars game, huh? Mm-hmm. Go Cougs!